Imagine the moment a dusty farm boy on Tatooine looks up at those twin suns and something inside him completely changes forever. What if I told you that the original Star Wars movie isn't just epic space battles and lightsabers, but actually one of the most powerful freedom stories ever put on screen? A story that secretly planted the seeds of rebellion in my own soul, against tyranny, against control, against everything that crushes the human spirit. Today I'm going deep, from moisture farms to the very principles that make liberty worth fighting for. Trust me, after this, you'll never watch A New Hope the same way again. Let's jump in. My first memory of a movie theater dates to the summer of 1977. I stood with my family in a long line beneath the warm Southern California sun, waiting outside a modest two-screen cinema. Inside, we settled into pre stadium seating, old creaky chairs where as a child I prayed I wouldn't end up behind a tall adult, craning my neck to see the screen. The floor stuck to my shoes with spilled soda and crunched with popcorn underfoot. Then, the iconic Star Wars fanfare blared and the title scrolled across the screen. That moment etched itself into my mind. On that day, I became not just a lifelong fan of George Lucas's Galaxy Far, Far Away, but also a rebel in spirit, drawn to the classic liberal ideals and Austrian economic principles that, I'd later realize, underpinned the rebellion's fight in Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope. The film's narrative, a scrappy rebellion battling the authoritarian galactic empire, mirrors the philosophies I hold dear: individual liberty, limited government, free markets, and resistance to centralized power. Through the lens of classic liberalism and Austrian economics, the rebels' struggle becomes more than a space adventure. It's a timeless stand for freedom. Here's how. The rebellion fights to unshackle the galaxy from imperial oppression. Early in the film, Grand Moff Tarkin announces that the Imperial Senate will no longer be of any concern because the Emperor has dissolved the Council permanently, sweeping away the last remnants of the old Republic. Under Emperor Palpatine, the Empire crushes dissent and enforces conformity, epitomized by Alderaan's destruction as a fear tactic. In contrast, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Han Solo embody the liberal ideal of self-determination, striving to restore autonomy to the galaxy's diverse peoples, a clear echo of classic liberalism's emphasis on individual rights over state domination. Classical liberalism rejects unchecked power. The empire's dissolution of the Senate signals the death of representative governance, a betrayal of the social contract that liberals like John Locke championed. Locke's influence rings through Thomas Jefferson's Declaration of Independence. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of its duty to secure natural rights, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it. The rebellion's uprising against the empire enacts this right, seeking to reclaim liberty from a tyrannical regime. The rebellion's coalition, humans, droids, Wookiees, and more, implicitly rejects the empire's hierarchical speciest order, where non humans are often scorned. Classical liberalism demands equal treatment under just laws, not the arbitrary rule the empire enforces through its militarized might. Luke's arc from Tatooine farm boy to rebel hero reflects liberalism's focus on individual moral growth. His decision to join the fight and trust the Force highlights personal agency, a stark contrast to the Empire's collectivist subjugation. The Austrian school, shaped by thinkers like Ludwig von Mises, Friedrich Hayek, and Murray Rothbard, champions individualism, spontaneous order, and skepticism of centralized planning. The rebellion and empire vividly illustrate these ideas. Austrian economics posits that decentralized voluntary cooperation fosters organic order, while centralized control breeds inefficiency. Smuggling in Star Wars, from Han Solo's cargo runs to Jabba the Hutt's trafficking empire, embodies this spontaneous order. When the Empire's taxes and bans choke legal trade, black markets fill the void, supplying spice, weapons, or escape routes. Han's freelance hustle and Jabba's operations on Tatooine thrive despite Imperial constraints, proving that human action adapts where rigid systems fail. The Empire's cronyism, its complicity or inability to stop smugglers, further exposes its inefficiencies, validating Hayek's belief in the superiority of unplanned coordination. Austrians like Rothbard see the state as a coercive force that distorts markets and choice. The empire's monopolistic grip on resources and its taxation of planets into submission exemplify this status excess. The rebels counter with ingenuity and mutual aid, resembling a free market resistance. When Tarkin boasts that the Death Star's power ensures no star system will dare oppose the Emperor now, Leia retorts, "The more you tighten your grip, Tarkin, the more star systems will slip through your fingers." Her words capture the Austrian insight that coercion breeds rebellion, not control. Hayek's knowledge problem argues that centralized authorities can't process the dispersed information held by individuals. The Empire's failure to foresee the rebels' attack on the Death Star's thermal exhaust port, a flaw spotted by decentralized actors like Leia and rebel analysts, proves this point. The rebellion's triumph hinges on local knowledge and adaptability, core Austrian tenets. The Empire's seizure of planets and resources, later seen in Cloud City's occupation, violate the Austrian view of property rights as liberty's bedrock. The rebellion's mission to liberate these territories aligns with the defense of individual ownership against state overreach. Star Wars Episode IV: A New Hope is more than a cinematic milestone, it's a philosophical parable. Its rebels champion classical liberal ideals, liberty, resistance to tyranny, and moral agency, while embodying Austrian principles of spontaneous order, decentralized knowledge, and defiance of coercive authority. Whether George Lucas intended these parallels or not, they lend the film a depth that resonates with my own rebel spirit, sparked in that sticky-floored theater in 1977. For me, the rebellion's fight isn't just a story, it's a lifelong call to stand for freedom against any empire that dares to tighten its grip. And that's how a galaxy far, far away ended up shaping the way I see freedom, power, and standing up to empires, both the ones in space and the ones we deal with right here. If this hit you in the rebel feels, smash that like button like you're blowing up a thermal exhaust port. Drop a comment with your favorite underrated Star Wars freedom moment, and subscribe if you're ready to join the resistance against boring takes. May the Force, and a healthy dose of individual liberty, be with you always. See you in the next one, fellow rebels.